Behold the Aquarian Tarot. I love this thing. Yes, I do. Hi, welcome to Kick-Ass Switch, putting the K in magic. I'm Joanna DeVoe, and you are watching another BiZWiTCH video. And this actually, first just let me share this with you. The Aquarian Tarot. I love it. Oops, there, can you see that? Okay, the Aquarian Tarot. Isn't it pretty? Here are the back of the cards. They smell so good. And I also have the accompanying Psychic Tarot, which is not by, this is by Craig, oh no, I can't say this last name, Junjulas? I don't know. The Psychic Tarot actually is illustrated with the Aquarian Tarot, which is a deck I have always wanted. This is not a video about tarot. Fooled ya. But the blog post down below is, because I actually did two spreads, 3-card spreads, for the 2 questions that I get asked the most often when people approach me for BiZWiTCH advice. And I decided to just intuitively do a tarot spread for each of these questions. I didn't consult any guidebooks. I just used whatever knowledge I have and went off whatever intuitive hits I got from the cards. So that is fun. You can explore that down below. But I wanted to answer more from the place of my like grumpy, persnickety inner crone. She exists and she has an attitude. You don't always see her. Sometimes she makes an appearance, but mostly she hides behind this very like goofy, kooky, silly facade. But I do have this part of me that I get frustrated sometimes because I think that in the spiritual community, in the New Age community, in the witchy community, especially when it comes to business, we have a situation of the blind leading the blind. There are some very charismatic people that have some awesome ideas, or they might have like big followings on their blog or on Twitter or something like that, but they really don't know what they're talking about when it comes to paying their bills, doing what they love. They just know how to run a really kick-ass Facebook page, for example, and post like witchy images that people like and share, and then they end up getting like 20,000 people who are subscribed to their page, but meanwhile they live in their parents' basement and, you know, they work at the local mall. And it's interesting to see how when people get that kind of attention, they start giving business advice. And I think that it's important, tarot, casting runes, following your intuition, listening to your spirit guides. These things are amazing, but you also need skills to run your own business online. If you want to be a kick-ass BiZWiTCH that can actually pay your bills, you have to understand certain things about running your own business online. You have to have a business model that actually works, that's achievable, and that also doesn't like kill your passion. It's like a fine balance, and there's a trick to it for sure. There's quite a few tricks, and different things work for different people, but you have to find what works for you. And I don't think it's great to spend a lot of money getting like a bunch of tarot readings or calling your local psychic to be like, I don't know what to do, I haven't. Stop trying to find yourself. You have already found yourself. Start where you are. Start learning about how to run a real business online and take what you love from the point of being a hobby to being an actual business. And the 2 questions that I'm going to answer here today hopefully will help you do that to some degree. So the first question that I get asked a lot is how do you do so many things? Like, you know, you draw, you write, you create these like cute illustrations, you make videos, you do a radio show. I too am a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I have all these different interests. How do I tie them all together? How do I create like an umbrella brand? This is something that I want say it took me years and years and years to figure out, but it actually didn't. I had one moment of insight and then I was off and running. But it took me years and years and years and years to get to that moment of insight, because I was one of these people who, you know, my friends and family would like roll their eyes at me every time I said I had another idea that I was really excited about, or I was going to start another business. I have had a lot of different businesses. I've done a lot of different things. I have made my money writing screenplays. I have made my money as a songwriter. I have made my money illustrating, doing marketing for bands and for independent designers. I had my own shop. I had a business where I sold one-of-a-kind items from indie designers and artists, all kinds of different stuff. I was in a band. And so it got to the point where it was like, oh my God, please don't tell us your next idea. We don't want to hear it. And I realized one day that I'm never going to stop being this person. I have so many different interests. I can't help myself. This is who I am. And I also realized, and my time has finally come. We have entered the era of the personal brand and the internet. I was like ahead of my time. The internet is my time. Now is my time. I'm like a total late bloomer. This is what I've been waiting for my whole life. I realized I could make myself my brand. And there would be a consistency in that if I constantly showed up as myself, whether I was talking about food, whether I was talking about magic, whether I was talking about money. I'm always just being myself. I'm always sharing from a place of experience and an excitement to share what I've learned. And that is consistent about me. And I have developed a style from being an illustrator for so many years. I always draw in black and white. I always use the same pink, orange, and yellow color scheme. Sometimes I throw a little lime green in there. But I always use the same style. I've been using that same style since 2003. So people can recognize me when they find me on Twitter or Instagram, or they land on Sad to Sexy, or they land on the Psycho Spiritual Wheel of the Year. It all looks the same. So it's all tied in visually, and then the glue that holds it together is my heart. I try to connect with people from the heart. And I don't have a flashy business. This is because I do a lot of things, and content creation is my passion. I really love creating things for people. And this is still a one-woman show, if you can believe that. I do a lot. But that's because I have a lot of really great structures in place, like I was talking about earlier, that allow me to do everything that I do. Once you get structures in place, you don't have to think so much, because the structures do a lot of the work for you. But I made a decision that I was going to focus on content creation and let my personality do the speaking for me, instead of having like a really flashy, fancy website and investing a lot of time and energy into that side of things. So I hope that helps you find the through line in your personality, be your own brand. If you are a person that has that issue, it's not an issue, it's a gift. In every gift there is a curse, and every curse there is a gift. So find the gift in it and you will be off and running. And then the other question that I get asked a lot, and I also just see a lot of my friends that have their own business struggling with, is and it's not even a question, it's more of like an excuse from my perspective. That's how I experience it. It's, I need another certification. I need more letters behind my name. I need to invest in this program. I need XYZ, a better website. That's when you'll hear a lot. I don't have a good enough website. I don't have this. I don't have that. Maybe you think you need a new deck of tarot cards to really make this happen. I don't know. I think that this is a very elaborate form of procrastination, and it's a clever way of lying to yourself, when what's really happening is you're just afraid. And it is scary to put yourself out there. It is scary to create your own business, and it's definitely an accelerated spiritual practice. It will bring up all of your shadow issues. It will bring up all of your junk. People might challenge you even publicly, which I think a lot of people are afraid of. That does happen, but it's a learning experience. And if you decide to like get off the fence and actually just be like, okay, I'm afraid, I'm gonna start where I am. I don't have that certification. I don't have that fancy website. I'm just gonna show up as I am right now. I'm gonna begin, I'm gonna serve from where I am, and I'm just gonna move forward from there. I think that you will find that it's shocking how fast you grow, how fast your business grows, but also how fast you grow spiritually, because if you're gonna hang with it, it's just gonna keep challenging you, and you're just gonna get stronger and stronger and stronger. If you don't believe me, you can go back and look at my earlier videos on my first channel, and you can see like I'm almost apologizing for taking up space, and I definitely don't do that anymore. And that's just one example of like how having your own business online can create this kind of accelerated growth for you, and that is very, very exciting. And also just starting where you are makes it less scary, because then you don't have to pretend to be something that you're not. You can just be like, here I am, little old me. I love people. I'm here to serve. How can I serve you today? Just start from that. You could just have a plain white website that says, I am here to serve. How can I serve you today? And you might be surprised. People might actually take you up on that and answer you. It wouldn't be the first time. So those are my 2 best tips to my 2 most popular questions, and I hope that it served you well. And if you love tarot like I do, check out the blog post down below. That was just for fun, but of course, as always with tarot, it's always surprising to see the insight. And it takes you on a journey that maybe you wouldn't go when you're just using your conscious mind. When you put your conscious mind aside and let the subconscious step forward and let your intuition take over, really interesting things happen. And that's what happened when I did these 2 tarot spreads. So I hope you will check that out. And in the meantime, have a lovely day, and I'll be back here next week talking at you. Much love. Peace.